Hello farmers, welcome back to East Vineland, going around picking up straw bales, just waiting for the rain to quit. It was supposed to quit at 3, it's just a little bit after 3. It's slowing down. I got one more field to harvest, which is our own. I went around and did all the contracts that I had, and I even harvested the small oat field that we had down the way a little bit. Took care of all those, been selling the bales, completed the contracts, been getting a little bit of money from our solar panels, of course, every hour, but not when it's raining. So that gets us up to $272,000 currently as we speak. So once the rain gets done here, we'll be harvesting our other oat field, picking up those straw bales, and we'll go sell those. And then I do have another contract I just took. It just came up, and that's one of the grass fields came up for a silage contract. I'm not in a rush to get it done this month here. Not in years past where it's like get it done so I can maybe get another one this year. Or 2 more harvests in this year. That's fine. The other 2 grass fields are still wanting hay. I think those contracts will stay there now until either I delete them or until the season ends. I don't think the farmers are going to go ahead and take care of their own grass fields. So we got some straw bales here to sell. Like I said, after we get done with harvesting our other oat field, just gotta wait for the rain to quit. Maybe while we're waiting for the rain to quit, we'll grab the telehandler, and I'm going to go over to the beehives. I got to move around some of the honey that has been spawning. We're getting kind of full over there, so I may want to get ahead and move that. So I'm going to go ahead and park this right here is fine. And now I'm going to hook up to the grain trailer. So all the extra grain from the contracts either went into the fuel refinery. So out of all those canola fields, I got about maybe 4,000 liters of canola. Not a whole lot, but I'll get a little bit from it. And as for the oats, everything went on down extra to the grain mill to make flour. I did not turn that on. No sense of turning it on because we're not going to sell the flour until late in the year anyways. If I go over here, can I see? Let's see, canola, yeah, 4,000 liters. I don't think, did I turn that on yet? I don't think I did. Let me double check on that. Let's see here. I don't see where it's actually active. So we'll go ahead and we'll activate that. We'll just get a little bit of canola out of it. Wait, that says canola oil. That's not what I want to do. We don't have canola oil. We just have pure canola. There we go. So for every 1,000 liters, I'll get 100 liters of pig food. So I'm going to get 400 liters of pig food out of it. Not a great deal, but it's something. Telehandler. Looks like the rain is finally coming to an end. Let's go ahead and move some of that honey around. I'm thinking about maybe getting a shed or a production building that takes pallets so I can store all the stuff. But, money is still kind of a thing with us. I want to buy more land, like always. Land around here is expensive, as we all know. I do have money to buy some land now, and there's still other equipment I would like to buy, like a square baler. And then that means I'll need to buy a square wrapper if I desire to do so, and maybe get rid of the Kubota round baler. Can I pick up 2 of these at once, please? I can. Where to put these for now? I think I'm just going to put them right in front of the other beehives. Don't need to go too far with them. I don't have no place to put them now. I could put them by our sell point, but then, it's out by the road. So we're going to go ahead and just leave it. It's going to be out of the way here. We got plenty of space here for more to spawn once I get it all cleared on out. And let's see, it's June, so this is a half year's worth of honey. So at the rate we're selling it, if I clear this all out, we should be fine until it comes time to sell the honey. And actually, it's February, right, for honey? Eggs in November, honey in February, everything else kind of like January-ish. Trying to keep them somewhat lined up so I go to pick them back up later on. Come on. You want to slide up? Oh, because I got the wrong angle. Sometimes your field of view is a good way to figure out why your pallets won't come off. So as for our field down the road a bit, the small field where we're going to end up putting the meat production facility, I don't know if I'm going to put that down this year. We're getting close to where I probably could afford to do so. But I don't think our pigs are quite ready to do so. We'll have to see. I'm going to wait and hold on that. It could be this year. We are getting up there. When I say we're getting up there on pigs, I think we started with 10 and we're up to 30. Yeah, we're up to 30 pigs. And next month we'll have another 10. And actually these pigs are in reproduction now. So they're starting to multiply faster and faster. So maybe save up and just put down the meat production. And that way we can start making money from the pigs. I wonder how good this telehandler is. If I double stack this, and that way when I go to collect it in February, can I pick up 4 of them at once? No, why not? We'll give it a try, see how bad I do. Just realized there's like an overhang on the beehives. That's why I can't push it back as far. There's an overhang, I guess, to keep them dry so the rain doesn't get in there. Some days I do good with the pallets, other days not so much. I can't see. Oh, they're pointing way up in the air. For those who do it in cab, give you some props for knowing how to do that. And again, I should mention, because I'm getting used to the noises, but all the background noises that you're hearing, that is from the Critters mod. That gives us more animal noises in the background. So if you hear a train, a dog, some different type of birds that you maybe hear chirping once in a while, that's from the Critters mod. And it seems like it changes from month to month, which is kind of interesting. Alright, so the beehives are good. We got plenty of room for more eggs. Double check for traffic here. I probably should have my beacon on when I go on the road. And as for the shed for the combine, I think for this year, I'm just going to go ahead and park the combine in the garage on the right-hand side, right in front of our storage area. And the header will go into where the solar panels are. At least that is my plan. I may, like I said, go ahead and get rid of this bale shed and go with the other bale shed that I showed you, but it'll have to be for square bales, because that's what we'll be swapping out to in the future. Sheep are making their milk. I need to put down another sheep pen here also in the future to start making some wool. But let's get down here to this beautiful combine. So, you know, you saw me doing harvesting last episode, and I did a whole bunch of contracts. I say a whole bunch, nearly a handful. And you can see I only got 1.5 hours on the combine. Did not take me long at all to do all those contracts and harvesting. You saw the ones that I took for contracts. I even added another field to do a contract in, so not too bad. No, it's already unfolded. Let's go down, turn that on, tell Frank or Francine to come back to work. They've had the morning off. Franco? That looks like Franco, actually. Look, the engine's already on. Straw swath dropping should already be on. And this field here should take no time at all. I'm kind of interested to see how this header handles the slight incline going up to the right. Haven't had any problems with the header yet. So we used the header before, another 60-foot header. I think that was called the... okay, so maybe is it too much? And I will destroy my own crops. It is a flex head that we do have. Let me try going this way. Hopefully Franco doesn't have a problem following me up here. I was kind of wondering about that. So what I'm talking about is, if your header is so wide like ours is, You could have problems on inclines from one side to another to where your header can't flex enough to actually harvest the material. So on No Man's Land, which is not hilly at all, kind of like this map here, we had a couple of occasions where the header that we used before, which was like the Midwest header, the 60-foot header, we had a couple of situations where that wouldn't, but that was not a flex head. This is a flex head. I think it's only flexing in the middle, if I'm not mistaken. Can I see where it actually flexes? Usually it flexes right in the middle, but I don't see. It's really hard to see on this model here where it actually flexes. But we'll keep on going with it because I'm not going to trade in a 60-foot header just because I have a couple of spots. Once I learn where the spots are, then it's not going to be much of an issue. And really for what we're doing here, ain't going to be, like I said, it's not going to be a problem at all, except for I didn't quite guess right on the width of, I left myself over here, pretty close. Looks like Franco figured out how to follow me. I think Horseplay has figured out quite a bit on backing up on the combine, so I backed up there. Used to be on older versions of Horseplay, we backed up a little bit. Okay, so I'm not harvesting here either, and that should not be a problem. So why? Of course, now I'm destroying crop. That's not good. Although Franco did happen to drop a bale right in my way. So this is going, this is not going as planned at all. Let me throw this bale over there to get it out of the way. The second I get to a certain angle, it seems to be fine. I wonder if harvesting another direction would solve the problem. Now this has been, I've seen this happen on a few maps, on a few locations, to where you harvest one way, it doesn't harvest the crop, and all you do is turn around, do a 180, harvest it the other way, and it harvests just fine. So, yeah, I don't know what's causing that. I'm not a map maker at all. It happened to me on Elm Creek a couple times. I had a few spots on No Man's Land where it happened once or twice, but it didn't happen all the time, which didn't make sense, so I'm not really sure what's causing that problem there. It's just unfortunate when it happens to me or anyone that does crop destruction, because when you're not harvesting, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to make that corner. Can I get around? Nope, not quite yet. So when you have crop destruction on and you're not harvesting, you're running over your own crop and destroying it, which, well, it sucks. But we're not losing that much crop. I wasn't actually expecting any problems here, but just like in real life, when you don't expect a problem, that's when you get it. And let me try zip it on down here. Now, as a few of you mentioned after I bought this combine in last episode, you did say, well, with the setup we got now, you have no problem. Yeah, so you're not harvesting there either. Okay. Let me try coming out here and hitting at a different angle. That we should be able to upgrade this engine, no problem. But right now, I'm not sure I need to upgrade the engine. Seems to be handling the situation just fine. Yeah, Franco's going to go up a little bit. Now he's... Okay, I wasn't expecting him to go that far up. Alright, yeah, I confused him too much. Alright, so maybe what I'm going to do, because I'm having an issue in this field, is... Well, I'm going to destroy more crop here, so close your eyes. I'm just going to park them out of the way and pick up the straw later on. Park that there. See if we can figure out what's going on here in this field. Didn't have a problem with the other combine, so I mean, it could be the header. Okay, so we can harvest it this way, which doesn't quite make sense. It doesn't make sense if it's the header, is what I'm trying to get at, because the angle of the land should have caused that a problem if it was the header. I'm not too sure what's causing that. Also, I've been having a discussion on Discord where someone's been having some issues with harvesting contracts again, meaning they cannot, when they do a harvesting contract, they cannot get enough grain off a field to complete the contract. Wait, are you going to harvest here? Alright, so you're going to harvest. Okay, not quite harvest here. I kind of need to get headland done. I can't go up and down because I'll be going into my soybean field. Small issues, but you know, we'll get it all figured out. What may be a wise thing to do, if this is going to be somewhat of an issue, is combine this field with that field, and that way when I go to harvest it, of course, I'll be just going straight on through. All this crop here will be going down into our grain mill factory. The good thing about that grain mill factory is we can put the grain into it and hold off on making flour until we know we're going to need it. And if I need some grain in the meantime, I can go down and take the oats right back on out. Now, the other problem with the 60-foot header is trying to find a place to always turn around. So I need to think what I want to do with these couple of fields here. If I want to merge this field with the soybean field, which means I'll take care of it when we harvest the soybeans later on in the year. No rush to get these fields replanted at all. Actually, I'm trying to think, that soybean field might be in the first growth stage. So technically I can drive into it and not cause any crop damage. Although I think with a crawler track combine, going into your field and doing a 180 turn would destroy the crops in real life. But in Farming Simulator, maybe not. I'm not going to have a problem going downhill here. Harvesting. No, that was fine. No, that crop is definitely not in the first growth stage. Well, I'm going to have to do a headland here whether it harvests or not. Hopefully it does. Yeah, so there's not a problem. It's going to make it fun picking up the straw here in a little bit. But it does make having this combine and the header set up quicker to pick up the straw, because with the other combine being an only 40-meter wide header, I had a lot of swaths to go around to pick up. And now we're just leaving a lot fewer. And also, I don't have to empty the combine as much either. Let me try harvesting the crop this way down here, see if it's an issue. So going this way, it seems to harvest it okay. Can I take care of this little bit of a mess over here? And no. Now, if I don't change anything, I guarantee when next year rolls around, I'll kind of forget that this was an issue. Until it happens, and I'll be like, oh crap, kind of forgot about that. But I can see myself next month when July rolls around, more of the crops will be ready for harvest. And I'll probably be doing some contracts, not for the amount of money that they pay me to do the contracts, is because I got the mod for picking up the straw during contracts, and that's where we make the money off of it. Most of the fields I'm getting a full baling trailer, which gives me an extra like 12 grand. So along with the contracts and the straw, I'm bringing in like 17,000 per harvesting contract, which is not bad. The grain that we get afterwards, not as well as used to be in 19, which is fine. I usually get about maybe 2,000 to 3,000 liters of whatever type of grain extra. So we are done with the combine for the month. Let's pull on over here and unload. Be careful of the T8. We don't want to harm that in any way. But you think that would just unload for how close I am to the trailer. There we go. I may just leave the header right on there on the combine. I'm going to double check when the soybeans will be ready. I think not until like October, November. Okay, soybeans, October, November. I actually remember the crop type and when it's ready to be harvested. That's amazing. But look how dirty my combine got in just, you know, hour and 3/4 worth. One thing I can't remember, have I fertilized this grass field since I harvested? Yes, I did. So that's ready to go. Just going to scooch over here to rinse off the combine. And the header. I was wondering if I was going to hit the barn or not, but I did not. And this is definitely going to make farming around here so much easier. The early days of this farm with a 4-meter wide header wasn't too bad, but then again, it wasn't doing that many fields. And anytime we did contracts, we were boring whatever harvester was the best for the contracts. But now, yeah, we can do whatever we please. Although I do want to upgrade the header, although I don't think upgrading the header with all the extra stuff actually matters. I've had this mod for so long, I gotta go back and reread it to see if it actually makes an effect on the yield or not. It'd be cool if it does. If it doesn't, then I'm just, you know, adding cosmetics to a header that we don't really need. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. So the combine, that does not fold up, I believe. The only thing that folds up when I fold the combine is the long pipe will fold on in. Also got to save up some money for the back of the farm, back there where those trees are. Definitely be buying that to put down a shed. Let's go ahead and put down the header. We'll turn that off. Yeah, so the header trailer, to be honest with you, I did not use it after I brought the header up from the store and started on the contracts. I do like the setup and the way it works, but if I can get from field to field without going into a road or damaging my own crops, I'll probably forgo on the header itself. I'm not one for header trailers. If I can avoid it, I will. Alright, now I need to go around and pick up my mess. All these bales definitely come in handy when it comes to selling them at the market. Yeah, so when I get to a big swath like this, it just bogs down. Actually, it doesn't bog down. There it goes, down to 6. But the reason why it bogs it down is the swaths are so big. If I could go at 10 miles an hour, it wouldn't be able to dispense the bales quick enough. So I think that's why it slows it down. So getting a different baler will definitely help out. Because when you're going at half the speed that you're kind of capable of doing, it slows down the whole process. So we're keeping our eye open for a square baler on the used market. But I will be using this baler on the silage contract that I got in the grass field. But this baler sure has paid for itself in many ways. Whoops, yep, that's, you kind of forgot. You don't want to go driving that field. I was watching the baler and making sure I was picking up all the straw, not where I was driving. I didn't really time myself, but it usually took me about half an hour to 45 minutes to harvest this field. But with the troubles we had, probably took me, what, 6 or 7 minutes? Yeah, so I might be merging these two fields together. Now that we're getting more fields, I can make bigger fields of one crop, and rather than having 3 or 4 of the same crop. I'm just still trying to figure out what to do with the money that I have. Do I want to buy sheds or a factory, or do I want to go ahead and buy more land? The thing is, with the land around here being so expensive, it's going to take a while to get your money back on the land that you bought. And if I want to buy land, I got to think kind of quick, because harvest season is basically here, and the fields I'm looking at buying, which is to the right of us, those 3 fields I've always been talking about, merging those 3 together and having a sugar beet field, so we can put cut sugar beet into our fuel refinery. Although that would mean the root crop harvester, the header, and if I remember correctly, that price for a no man's land, was it like $350,000 for the setup? And then, of course, I would need a drill to plant the sugar beet. And just a reminder, we cannot lease on this series. That's one of the rules that we have. No leasing of equipment. So we just can't lease something, use it for about an hour and return it. Anything that we need on the farm, we have to buy. And we can't buy it, use it, and resell it either. We got to keep it unless we're upgrading to bigger equipment like we did with the combine. And I don't expect this January to be as well as last January with the silage bales, because we're not getting as lucky as we were last season with the contracts on the silage bales. Alright, so we're all set picking up the straw. And I think what I'm going to do is, since I'm in the area already, I'm just going to go ahead and drop off the baler right here. And we'll go get the trailer. Pick up the rest of the bales, we'll go sell those, bring some cash in. Then we'll bring the oats on down to the grain mill, drop those on in. I gotta remember, is that, yeah, should be operating mode. Should be able to fit the bales on here, no problem. I don't know, can I squeeze around here without getting in the crops? Yes, I can. Now, the other thing I did mention, getting a bigger baler means the only thing that could run the baler would be the T8. The Class Arion is going to be a little bit short on the horsepower to be able to do that. The bigger balers need about 250 horsepower, and the Arion, I think, is a 205. Just have to wait to see what the store does. If the store doesn't offer us anything, then it's not a big deal. We don't have to worry about it too much. But then if a baler does come up for sale, it's like, well, you can't argue with half off. You're saving yourself $50,000. And before you ask, no, we cannot upgrade the engine anymore in the Class Arion. We got the biggest engine that we can have in the 660. Is that what this is? Yeah, this is the 660. She's maxed out. Alright, let's head on down, turn the beacons on, head on down to the biomass heating plant. We'll drop these off, and then, like I said, bring the oats on down, put that into the grain mill. We'll probably turn the grain mill on in like November, December, because we sell the flour in January. Just in case the chickens need some cereal grain to be dropped in. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to mention, definitely in this episode, yeah, the Season 2 pass, but I've been talking about the second map, and I want to see what the map does on the Season 2 pass. Yeah, that map is not going to come out until later in the season. Now, when I mean later in the season, I mean later in 2023, so starting a second map probably will happen in January 23 for us. I haven't picked out a map yet. I got kind of a thing I'd want to do. I don't know. I'm not going to mention it because if I can't find a map that fits what I want to do, then I'll just keep it to myself until we get to doing it. So I have no map picked out. I have a couple of ideas I can try. But being the holiday season, I just want to go ahead and make sure that I have time after the season to get it all done. Not get it all done, but at least get it started. Also, SnowRunner. For you SnowRunner fans, there will be an episode tomorrow in case you didn't see the weekly schedule. If I put one out, I'm recording this episode before I do the weekly schedule. This week is going to be kind of a rough week because, you know, Christmas is coming. And then, of course, we got New Year's, so a lot of things going on. But at least when I post the schedule usually just has the videos I know I'll be releasing. And there's always a chance of other videos being put in. So I'll have to see. But there is an episode of SnowRunner going out tomorrow. Because that one is already uploaded and ready to go. But yes, sometime in January, we'll be starting a second map of Farming Simulator. Like I said, I haven't picked out a map yet, and we'll see where we go from there. Like I said, I got a couple of ideas I'm working on or thinking about doing, and we'll give it a go. Kind of like here when we started. You know, the challenge is, you know, no equipment, no money, no land, no nothing. We just can't lease equipment. We had to buy everything and pretty much keep it, which, you know, for the first year and a half wasn't that bad. We got lucky in a couple sale items, and now here we are. And we're expanding faster and faster and faster. Yeah, I got to move some of the stuff around here. I think the animal trailer is going to go where the combine was in the big red barn, because the combine we have now won't fit in there. So I can shove that in there, and the header and this trailer here, I want that to be a drive-through, and then maybe put the drill and the water tanker in the barn as well. I might be able to squeeze it all in there. Who knows? Let me just have a quick look at this field here. Probably, let's see, lime is not that bad. And of course, nitrogen value ain't going to matter until we plant a crop in it. And I'm not going to know what the crop is going to be until next season. Now let's bring this on down to the grain mill. Pop that in there, and this will be made mostly into flour, I assume. Like I said, I don't think the chickens are going to need anything. Beacons on. Let's go put this in storage. Yeah, the very good thing about this grain mill, I know I said I was going to stay away from productions, but the reason why we bought it is to make the cracked corn for the chickens, which is not that important. But I can take the grain that we get that I'm making for the chickens, any extra I can bring on down here to make flour, but it's acting like a silo for us. So what did I pay for this? Like $110,000 or $90,000? So you can kind of picture it as like a silo, but also at the same time, it's a production building. And I do know that Mac Trucker has, on the Mod Hub, he has redesigned the grain mill quite a bit. I didn't know if he was going to upgrade the map for it. What I might do, because the only thing that's kind of bad about this grain mill is we can see where I just unloaded, but if you're making flour, the flour spawns right here. So when you're coming through to, you know, put your grain in, you gotta get around your flour somehow, which is doable. But he has upgraded that, so I guess you could, you know, get the upgraded model off the Giants Mod Hub, sell this one, and put down the new one. I think it's a smaller footprint as well, so it should fit on there, I would think. Alright, so now that we're back at our own farm, we can turn off our beacon lights. I said turn off the beacon lights, there we go. We'll leave the cover off, because we're going to go ahead and put this into the shed. I call it a shed, it's actually a barn. Yeah, but this is the one thing I wasn't, you know, when I put down the barn, I wasn't quite thinking about too much. Leaving me enough room to back this in. Oh, I forgot this one has wheels that turn on the back, so I don't need to turn it as sharp. Definitely don't want a bigger trailer backing in here. Let's go ahead and park that there. Not going to bother cleaning it because we're not done using it for the season. Alright, let's go grab the animal trailer, because I'm not going to need that until we get the meat production building put on down. This trailer's longer than I thought it was, but I think it'll fit back to back with the other trailer. Yep, plenty of room for that. Alright, now we're going to go down and grab the drill. And that drill should fit right there. I say the drill will fit right there. Will the drill fit in here? It looks like it will. Barely, but it's going to fit in. Yeah, it sneaks in. You think the barn is big enough until you start bringing your equipment in. And then the funny thing is, when you're in the field working, it doesn't feel like your equipment's big enough. How much room did that leave me? Okay, so I did not realize I was hitting that trailer. So that really doesn't fit in here. But it does for now. You close the doors, you can't tell any difference. But that's not going to be a long-term thing. That's going to be there for now. And, oh yeah, if I'm going to put the water tanker away. Got myself turned around. The drill probably would have been better here. Or maybe not, because I think it would have hit that trailer as well. Wow, when I put down that barn, I'm like, oh, I can put this here and that there. Then when you start putting stuff away actually in there, then you start to realize, yeah, it's not quite as roomy as I originally thought. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head on up and top off the pigs with water. Going to have to put down a water source over here, I think, pretty soon. The only water source I'm aware of is way at the southern end of the map. Now, I could make it convenient and just put the water source right here for the pigs, and that way I just have to drive over, refill, and unload at the same time. I know you guys need water. Am I not close enough? There we go. Okay. Thought they were going to take more than that, but they didn't. But since I'm attached to the trailer, might as well go and top them off, right? Yep, so another shed, of course. It was just a matter of where do I want to put it. But I think we talked about that land right back there where all the trees are. It's going to be my best option. The silo, I want to go kind of out front here. Okay, so even the water tanker is going back in further than I thought it would. But once you close the doors, it looks nice in there, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to park the T8 right here for now. And let's go ahead and park this trailer under cover. Try to keep it out of the elements. And drop it off right there. That way I just have to back up to it and pull it on out. Then we have to back up articulated trailers because I'm terrible at doing that. And then eventually the header will go in here as well. That's probably going to take up the whole area. So, yeah, the month of June is just about done. I am probably going to go down and take care of that grass contract in field number 94, is it? Yep, field number 94. They're going to pay me $18,000. I'm not leasing anything, using my mowers and my baler. So we get 18,000 plus a little bit extra from selling the extra bales. And then the extra bales that I don't sell will come on back. We'll put here up at the farm and keep those going. As for doing other contracts, the hay baling contracts, not going to do those. And the other harvesting contracts this season, the month of June, not going to do those either. And that's all we got for contracts. So I'm going to get this contract done in between episodes. It'll be July when we get here. Probably July morning. Let me just check the store with you guys here. Okay, that's the only thing in the store. I don't need a header at all. But, yeah, the land I'm looking at buying, I know everyone doesn't watch every episode, so if I'm going over things twice, I do that because I get questions kind of often about something I've gone over before. But we're looking at buying fields 8, 9, and 10. We got enough money for field number 8. Actually got enough money for field number 9, but not both. I would prefer field number 10 because that's the biggest one. And if we look at it, they're growing soybean. Isn't that oats? Or is that barley? That might be barley. Yeah, it's barley and sunflower. I don't have a sunflower header, so may want to skip that one. But if I can buy field number 10 with soybean into it, that wouldn't be bad. And then we can get started on this because I want to take fields 8, 9, and 10, merge them together. And that's the sugar beet field I want to make. So we can take the sugar beet and make cut sugar beet and put it to the fuel refinery because the fuel refinery does rather well on cut sugar beet. Obviously, sugar beet yields very well. So we get a lot of compost and a lot of pig food from it, and we can go ahead and sell that. And I've already gone through that canola that was there. Let's deactivate that. So we're all set. In the grain mill, we do have 34,500 liters of oats ready to be made into flour. And that combo is actually, we actually get more flour than what we have oats. So we'll probably get somewhere around 38,000, maybe 40,000 liters of flour out of that, which is not that bad at all. So that will pay for itself. Just like the combine's paying for itself. Yeah, we had a little bit of issue of harvesting that field today. But I think we can manage around that, and maybe this fall, maybe once we get done harvesting the soybeans, maybe merge these two fields together, which is not going to take too much with the plow. I mean, one pass with the plow, we got it. And yeah, we'll merge these two fields together and have one big field here. That will kind of screw up the crop rotation a little bit. Because this will be a different crop than what that crop was. So we'll have to probably just go with what seems best. We'll figure it out, though. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching, as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland. But until then, have a good one.